Hello, everyone. Welcome to this coaching transmission where we are going to talk about surrender, the art of surrender. Okay, so surrender is a very big, powerful word that has so many strong connotations to it that it can mean so many different things to so many people, depending on maybe theoretical learning from the past or even organized religion, so many different factors. However we look at it, it is a concept that is very big. All right. So surrender is not something that is small. And if somebody just says to you, oh, just surrender, it's not really an easy thing that many people can just do. All right. We have to learn how to be in the frequency of surrender. It is a frequency that we can choose to embody. And when we do that, yes, of course, it begins with that conscious choice to choose surrender as a default setting, to choose it as a frequency and a concept that you align yourself and orientate yourself toward. But then also, there will be individual work, soul work, that really needs to be done so that surrender becomes something that is accessible for you. So to fully surrender is to completely trust a higher power. And where surrender gets complex, because in religion sometimes the higher power that you have been taught about is a higher power that is, named, or one God, or external, or one source of energy. And spiritually, it could be, many sources of energy. It doesn't really matter what that source of energy is, right? Let's just be really real. As long as you understand that there is a higher power involved, that we are individual souls that are also part of universal spiritual collective. So yes, you're an individual soul, but there is also this huge universal spirit that brings us into oneness. This is where we are all one. We are all equal. When we surrender to a higher power, whether you have that higher power down as God, as universe, as beings of light, as higher self, as the unknown, as the galaxies beyond, as the galactic energies, as, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you understand that you here individually are not in control. All right. You are not in control. You do not have to do everything by yourself. You do not have the power to do that. It's not possible. And that you are part of a consistent collaborative where you continuously co-collaborate with the universe. So everything that you put your energy into is a co-collaboration with the universe, or with that higher power, or with God, or with whatever word you're going with. I'm not going to infiltrate the energy there. As long as you know that you are working with this beautiful, big, universal spirit in everything that you create in your life. So when we look at surrender in this way, it shows us that we actually have a beautiful invitation to fall back and be supported. And this means letting go of mental control. Your mind tells you a story that you have the power in your mind to control things and to make them the way that you want them. And this is detrimental often because the mind becomes so rigid that it keeps continuously putting energy into controlling, forcing, pushing, and pulling in directions that you actually have no power over. And all this results in is exhaustion and mental drain and overwhelm. Because your mind does not have the power to do that. So your mind locks in, tries to control, tries to explain, tries to dictate, tries to validate, tries to manipulate outcomes and consequences, tries to change everything to be the way that you want it to be, but the mind simply doesn't have this power. So then your mind becomes exhausted and depleted because you are trying to do the impossible. Surrender in relation to the mind would bring you into that concept of trust, where your mind might try to take you in these directions where you're trying to force and push and pull. But all the mind actually needs in that moment is to have a moment of, okay, I'm going to put positive intention into this, and then I'm going to trust. I'm going to let go. I'm going to surrender. I'm going to ask the universe to support me, and I'm going to surrender into this higher power that I know supports my highest good at all times. And this is a big thing for us to do. For many of us, because of our conditioning, we've been conditioned not to do that. We've been conditioned not to trust externally, not to trust internally, not to trust in general. We've been conditioned to push and force and do things ourselves without having that co-collaboration of the universe, where the truth is, it's a partnership. We put energy in, we get energy back. We put energy in a direction that orientates us towards our intentions and what we want. And then we are met with the co-collaboration of the universe to bring this into fruition. The universe always has your back and always works in your favor. All right. So you might not know that because you're too busy trying to control the outcome to be the way that you want it. Well, that's not how surrender works. Because surrender means you surrender into the process. You let go of the how and you allow things to happen. A human being does not control how something happens. So if you want to manifest $1 million and then you sit there doing budgets and adding up and seeing how much salary you've got, and then you come to the conclusion, well, that's impossible because I don't earn enough money to do that. That's it. Gates closed. You've closed down the manifestation. You've closed down the energetic request, and you have limited yourself. Because you, human beings, us, we do not have a say in the how. We energize, intentionalize, put energy into what we want, and surrender is part of that process where we surrender into our higher power, allowing that beautiful universal co-collaboration to take place. So you need to let go of the how that $1 million is going to come to you. You need to just focus on the fact that you're going to have that $1 million, or that you have it, or that you already have it. Same as if, you want to find or manifest the ideal partner, and then you get this down and you write it down on paper maybe, and you have this vision and you've got this beautiful partner in mind, and then you sit and control it. All right, oh yeah, but I need to go to this dating site and I need to do this and I need to be online and I'm not going to enough places, and what if it doesn't work out and I've got all this past trauma? Not only infiltrating what you receive in the end, but you are also not surrendering into the higher power of co-collaboration that will take place when you simply stay with the positive manifestation of what you want and remember that you need to let go of the how. The how it's going to happen is not up to you. And this is massive, because anyone who believes it is up to them will never embody the frequency of surrender. And this is this real big spiritual gateway where if we can put our positive intention and energy towards the things we want to create, towards the things we want to manifest, call in, have in our lives, be part of as a collective, and then we just focus our energy on that, we get this beautiful universal support. And these things arrive with us. But that doesn't happen if we try to control and manipulate the outcome. We do not realize how limiting that is. All right. So surrender in that mental realm, you've got to let go of trying to control the how with your mind, because you can't do that. You focus on what you want. You put all your energy into really creating the vision of that, the feeling of that, and then you let the rest go. Even before you sleep at night, say, I manifest this, I am calling in this, I am ready to receive this, and I release all control. I trust in the power of the universe, and I am ready to surrender to a higher power. Please bring this to me. You do not have anything to do with the why. When it comes to surrender emotionally, so many of us are holding on to this emotional trauma, this emotional baggage, these stories, the anger, the frustration, the grief, the guilt, the blame, the shame, all of these negative emotions, fear, distraction, resistance. We hold on to them like they are protecting us, and they are not. They are harming us. We have to surrender into the place, into the spaces, into the realms that soften us into a place where we can heal this. When we accept what is there and we surrender into the moment, we allow ourselves to heal. When we focus rigidly on what is wrong with us, what the problems are, all of the restriction, all of the resistance, all of the distraction, anger, we focus on it, we fuel it more and more and more. We need to acknowledge it, see that it is there, choose what we are going to do, our steps, our processes, work with the right people to help us. But then we have an element of surrender. We have to surrender to our higher power, knowing that the universe is going to support our highest good. And we will heal, we can heal ourselves when we surrender that part of control. Allow ourselves to be in the trauma. Allow ourselves to be in the trauma release. Allow ourselves to move with this and let the energy move. Allow ourselves to be supported and to get the healing done. Stop sticking your head in the sand. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop resisting spending money on yourself. All of the bullshit, because you only get one chance in this body. You have to surrender and trust. Listen to the voice of your soul that is telling you it is time. It is time, you must heal. You have to surrender to the fact that you need to heal. You have to surrender to the fact that you need support. You have to surrender to the fact that when you realize there is a problem and you are ready to face it, that you will be supported. The lack of surrender in the emotional field creates restriction and contraction, and it makes us stuck. It makes us stagnate. The energy stops flowing. It no longer flows. We're not moving. So we're not attracting. We're not connecting. We're not allowing. There's no opportunity coming to us because the message is you've got to let go. You've got to let go and surrender. Surrender into this moment. Surrender into now. And the relief that we feel when we surrender and stop holding on so tightly, we surrender to our higher power. We know that if we do our part and put our energy into this and we commit to that, that we will be supported in that. There will be a co-collaboration that takes place, and not only with the universe. When we surrender to the fact that we need help and that we need support, you'd be amazed how many other people turn up in your field who are ready to provide that for you. But if you're not willing to spend money on yourself, if you're not willing to take the time for yourself, and this is a big one, I don't have time, it's too busy, I need to take care of my family, blah, blah, blah. Well, fine, that's a choice, but it is not truth. Everybody has time. You create your own time. What you're saying there is it's not a priority. And this is important. When you're saying it's not a priority, you're putting yourself right down to the bottom of the pile. Surrender is not about giving up or being passive. This is a big thing with surrender. A lot of people go, yeah, but if I surrender, I'm giving up. And it's like, well, no, where did you get that from? Who told you that? And let's really get into this place of clarity and coherence around that, because those two things are very different. Giving up means you've committed to something and then you change that commitment and it is detrimental. All right. Whereas if you've committed to something and you stop doing it, it could be for the highest good of all. So it's not necessarily giving up. All right. So people sometimes have a job. They hate the job. The job is killing them inside. It's stressful. It's awful. It's so out of alignment. They don't want to give the job up because they're giving up. That's not giving up. It's honoring your higher power and listening to your soul that is telling you that job is killing you. Whereas giving up, if you know that you need to move through an addiction and stop smoking or stop drinking or stop eating ice cream at night, or you need to commit to meditating every day, you want that, and then you give up because it gets too hard. Yes, but this is not what surrender is. Different frequency altogether. Surrender is not about giving up. Surrender is about trusting a higher power and trusting in the greater flow of life and recognizing often that things unfold in a way that you had not predicted, and things unfold in a way that you maybe had not even imagined, and things unfold in ways that are impossible to plan. This is really important, because if you get so rigidly caught up in your planning, you miss the flow of life. You miss the opportunity and you miss that greater power supporting you because your plan is too rigid. Whereas when we fully surrender, there's a lot of letting go of the plan involved with that. There's a lot of, oh, okay, I might have a loose plan, but I'm just going to surrender and see what else is there. Or you may surrender into no plan, I trust. That's how I live my life. I'm telling you now. I am a great organizer. I'm a wonderful planner about things that are, I'll plan a retreat. I'll plan a training. I'll plan a workshop. I'll plan a mastermind. But I am intuitive. So will I be writing lesson plans? Will I be writing down a retreat plan? Will I be planning what I'm doing every minute? Never, 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 never. Because I'm going against the voice of my soul if I do that, because my soul communicates with me in the moment. And I fully trust that my soul communicates with me in the moment and that I can fully listen and receive that information. And there is no fear. So I can surrender into the process of knowing that my wisdom is always flowing through. And this is what you can do too. You surrender into the guidance. Our spiritual wisdom constantly is filtered down through the stars and comes in through the crown, and we're always receiving it. The only person who fucks that up along the way is us by letting it drop in through the chakras down to the base. And the base chakra needs to feel it as stable and grounded and anchored. And if it doesn't let it move. It just stagnates and sticks. If it comes to the sacral chakra and you feel the fear and you do it anyway, you'll rise. But if you feel the fear and you stop and you go, no, this is too scary, you will stagnate and get stuck. It will come into your solar plexus and you will action it. And it will be beautiful and aligned. Otherwise, you will get scared, not enough confidence, and you'll suck it in and hold it in and you won't move forward. It comes into the heart, it will be integral, authentic, aligned, and real. Or you'll close it down and you'll shut your heart and love will stop flowing for you, and so on. We have to surrender to a higher power and know that we are part of a collective that is much bigger than us. We co-collaborate with the universe constantly. If we put energy into negative, the universe brings you negative. If you put energy into fear, the universe brings you fear. If you put energy into distraction, the universe will distract you. If you put energy into love, the universe will meet you with that. If you put energy into flow, you'll be met with that. Money, you'll be met with that. Abundance, you'll be met with that. When you surrender into the knowing that a support system is there as a higher power, you are having faith. And this is not a religious thing. It's just a spiritual practice, which is all of us, all people are spiritual beings having a human experience. Religion is a choice. You have faith when you trust in a higher power. And those of us with faith, our life flows because we trust that we are always supported. We surrender into a place of knowing that we're always supported. The universe collaborates with us for the highest good of all at all times, continuously, forever. When we have this sense of faith and we can surrender into that, we live in flow, we live in peace, we live in harmony. We have this beautiful sacred dance of letting go and just letting ourselves be carried, not controlling the way, not controlling the outcomes, not manipulating them or changing them, just trusting. Okay, I feel this way today for this reason. Not, oh my God, I feel this way. I need to change it. I need to fix it. There's something wrong with me. Oh my God, negative, negative, negative. Like straight down into this negative spiral of despair. It's time for you to wake up and you choose that negative spiral in the first place. And then you choose to spiral downward with it. Somebody says to you, how are you doing? How are you doing? You're okay. And you go, oh, well, I'm awful and life is so hard and I had an argument last night and blah, blah, blah. fine. But just know that's your choice. You are attaching to that situation, and then you are allowing that situation to define you. What about if you surrender to the fact that you had a confrontation and now you choose to alchemize it because you would rather allow yourself to be in a higher frequency than a lower one? You know, and this is such a big piece of responsibility, and awakening to the fact that you choose your negative state. You choose your negative, disempowering state. You choose these spirals because you're locked in them with your mental realm. And if you think you can't change them, that is bullshit. You're actually choosing not to. You're not surrendering to a higher power. You're not surrendering to the current situation and accepting it as it is. You're locking in. You're getting resistant, you're getting angry, you're getting negative, and you're going more and more into the life's too hard victim space. You have the power to move away from that. Will you make that choice? Will you surrender into that moment right now and then step into your next stage of alchemy and move into changing it, shifting it, releasing it? Not letting it define you, because it's not who you are. If you're a human being here on earth now, you're not here to have a negative experience. So if you're having a negative experience, you've chosen it and you keep continuing to choose it. All right. So you have the power to change that. You must surrender into what is there, accept it, then it will alchemize by universe swooping in with a loop of potential for you to change it, but also because you have empowered yourself. You have stepped up. All right. So when we choose surrender, we choose to allow ourselves to be led and guided by our spirit, by the voice of our soul, and by this higher power that we feel as this strong intuition that guides us. And everyone feels it, but sometimes we interfere with it. We change it. We sabotage it. We let the mind infiltrate. We let the emotions infiltrate. But we all have this guidance because this is where we came from. This spiritual support, this guidance of our higher self is always leading us into the light. We're the ones who pull ourselves back into the dark. We have the power to surrender and to let go and to see that we are supported. When we allow ourselves to surrender, we enter into a phase of peace, which is consistent and continuous. It's like stepping into this gentle alignment, a place where we don't have to carry this weight of trying to figure everything out in our mind, trying to control everything, trying to manipulate outcomes, trying to control other people. When we're in surrender, we're not fighting with people. We're not having arguments. You know, can you see that? A fight or an argument is your emotional body and your mental body allowing that to happen. All right. So if you're in a situation where that's happening, remove yourself from the situation. If it happens, stop it, cull it, change it. You've got the power to do that. If you step into the frequency of surrender, you will not end up in those low frequencies, those negative situations. You're putting yourself into them. It's time to be really responsible and accountable of that fact. Surrender will take you into this. Okay, I don't need my ego now to try to prove myself, to try to argue with this person, to even get on board with whatever they're doing or saying, because I live in the frequency of surrender and I am open and I am flowing and I'm in this beautiful harmonious synchronicity because I know that I don't need to do all of this on my own. It's so beneficial and powerful for us to live in a state of surrender because we let go of feeling we need to force or push or pull anything ever. It's this beautiful path of inner peace where we trust the universe and the universe keeps reminding us why that is the only way that we can live. All right, so we're going to dig into surrender more because it's a big subject, and I'm going to leave you with that. Namaste.